Welcome back, Megabytes teachers. For this video, we are going to explore some maps that have already been created for you. We will start by using our web browser and navigating to the Tennessee Geographic Alliance Open Data Portal at data-tga.opendata.arcgis.com. Notice that we are not signed in using an ArcGIS Online account. The benefit for you and your students is that no one has to remember a username or password to use these maps. Scroll down about halfway through the data portal and click on the Megabytes link. For this video, we are going to focus on web maps that have already been created. Begin by checking the box for web map. This will filter out the data layers so that only the finished maps are visible. You'll notice here at the top of the screen how many maps are currently available. This number is likely to change over time. We will only be exploring one map together today, but the skills we review are applicable to all the other maps. To follow along, click on the link for LACE Maps for Megabytes Data Exploration. This page provides a high-level overview of the map. This view is not particularly helpful for this map because I have turned off all the layers by default. To turn on the layers and manipulate the map, we are going to click on the View Metadata link. This page provides a high-level overview of the map and lists all of the data layers that are available in the map. For now, click on Open in Map Viewer. Notice here in the top left corner there are several buttons. The About page contains the same information we were just looking at. Clicking on More Details opens the map's description. The Legend button will show what the various symbols and colors mean on the map once a data layer has been turned on. For now it is empty. The Content button lists all the data layers and is a primary way to interact with those layers. To begin, check the box next to the bottom layer. Arthropod-borne viral deaths by state, 1999 to 2017. Checking a box in the Contents section will turn a layer off and on without deleting it. Notice that some of the layers are grayed out. These layers are not visible unless you zoom in closer in the map. This keeps the map from getting cluttered and makes the map load faster. To zoom into a layer, click on the three dots and choose Zoom to. That is a lot of dots. Within ArcGIS Online, you have the ability to change your base map. Feel free to change these as necessary to help highlight whatever is important to your map. Let's go back to the arthropod-borne viral deaths by state, 1999 to 2017. Clicking on a layer will bring up a series of icons that allow you to interact with the data layer. The first icon on the left makes a small map legend visible for just that layer. Next is an icon that looks like a spreadsheet. This opens the data table that goes with this layer. You can sort columns of data in ascending or descending order by clicking on them. Sort the deaths column ascending. Notice all the negative 9999 values. Remember that those mean no data. If we leave them in our data, we will have some problems with our map. Numeric fields like the deaths column also automatically generate statistics. Again, the negative 9999 values are causing problems with our data. To remove the negative 9999 values, click on the filter icon with a funnel. Begin by specifying which field you want to filter. In our case, we will use the deaths column. Next, we specify an operator. This is similar to math operators like equals, not equals, or greater than. Finally, specify the value. In our case, choose or type in negative 9999. Now when we check the deaths column statistics, there are no more negative 9999 values. Notice that some states no longer have symbols. These are states with negative 9999 values that are no longer visible. Clicking on a symbol will open a pop-up window with information about that feature. In this case, the pop-up contains the state name and abbreviation, as well as the number of deaths. If a symbol is blocking part of the base map that you want to see, you can click on the layer's three dots and adjust the layer's transparency. From the three dots on the layer, you can view that layer's details, which open in a new window or tab. Finally, let's explore ways to change the layer symbology using the symbol with a triangle, square, and circle. Numeric columns will usually default to a proportional symbol map. You can change the column being mapped by using the drop-down. Notice that there are columns in the data that were not visible in the table. Choosing the rate column displays the number of deaths as a percentage rather than a raw number. Notice that even though Tennessee and North Carolina have a large number of deaths, as a percent of the population the values are low relative to other states. Be sure to click on Done to save your symbology changes. Explore the LACE cases by state layer next. Next, explore the LACE cases by state by year layer. Notice that all of the states currently have the same symbol. This is not very useful. Notice that each column is for the number of cases in a given year. Choosing a different year from the drop-down column will update the symbology. Be sure to open a pop-up window and see what is created for each state. Next, turn on the lacrosse cases by county layer and zoom to that layer. Notice that the map has a lot of very small circles and a handful of large circles. Pick a year and filter out the zero values. Choose a year from the column drop-down. Choose Is Not for the operator and type 0 for the value. Notice that all of the small circles disappear. Edit the filter to choose a different year. Since the number of cases is a number, you can also use math operators like greater than. The three layers that start with GNIS contain statewide features. Some of your local features may be missing. You can use the address search bar in the top right corner to search for a specific location, city, or even your school. Notice that the cemetery near Bearden High School doesn't show up in this data set. No data is perfect. You can use the Measure tool near the address search bar to calculate areas, lengths, and coordinates. For measuring distance, click once to start a line. Click once to add additional vertices, and double-click to end the line. The distance of the line will update. To measure area, click once to start a polygon and click again for each vertex. Double-click to close the polygon. Click once using the coordinate tool to find the latitude and longitude of a location. Finally, remember that since we are not signed in, we cannot save any of the changes we have made to this map. You should be able to share the map, but it will load as the empty map you started with.